to impeach or not impeach? That's the burning question dividing Democrats. As attorneys gear up for the Hannah Brown trial, the defense asked the judge to step down today from the case, worried that it's a conflict of interest. 3,000 faith leaders made their way from here at the MLK Memorial to the Department of Justice to speak out against the same injustices that Martin Luther King spoke of in 1963. Black Women Matter is the message that hundreds tried to get across today as they marched all the way to D.C. to make sure that their voices were heard.
No means no! No means no! No means no! No means no!
Over 100 Howard University students gathered Tuesday to protest how the university is handling an alleged rape. The alleged assault occurred during the early morning hours of February 8th inside a campus residence hall.
On this campus, it is wrong for us to feel intimidated and scared for our protection and our safety when people like our staff are supposed to be protecting us, but they're the one inflicting our pain.
The Howard University student was allegedly raped by her co-resident assistant and made allegations on Twitter of a lack of concern from university officials. Students gathered here at the administration building at Howard University in solidarity for rape victims here and rape victims everywhere. The university released a statement, but students were still left unsatisfied.
There's something different when we're talking about student loans and housing and financial aid. These are our bodies, our spirits, our minds. And when it's taken from you, that tells you that you're less than, that you are no longer human. And no one should ever feel like that.
Reporting for News Vision, I'm Elise Ferguson. House Bill 129, which would dramatically change how students pay for college, is being debated by North Carolina lawmakers.
I think that it will help student loan debt tremendously.
The bill allows students with a 3.5 GPA and up to go to any in-state community college for free.
They wanted me to go there.
Shelton Morgan, a teacher at Middle College at North Carolina A&T, knows firsthand about college debt. He believes this bill will help students.
I did incur some student loans, and I do have some student loan debt that I'm paying off. I feel like it can help people. It may not help me particularly, but I know it will help a lot of people.
If the proposal passes, some teachers say students at schools like the Middle College, which had a 100% graduation rate in 2014, could benefit the most.
Sometimes we're not afforded the opportunity if we don't take that next step in education.
If the bill isn't passed, students won't have the chance to benefit.
Students that don't tend to graduate, they have hard lives.
In Greensboro, I'm Elise Ferguson for NABJ News. On college campuses throughout the United States, affirmative action is a policy that is often up for debate.
I think affirmative action is still necessary.
Well, that's unfair, first of all, and also it might make it easier for certain people to get in school just because they're this certain race.
I believe that affirmative action is a necessary policy for college admissions still.
8 states representing 29% of United States high school students have already banned affirmative action. However, schools such as Georgetown University strongly advocate for the use of this policy. Their president, John J. DeGioia, released a statement in the Hoya, their campus publication, saying, "We believe strongly that universities should be allowed to continue to consider race and ethnicity, among other factors, in our admissions process."
So affirmative action in undergraduate institutions, for instance, both private and public, taking race into account is still a very important option that schools need to have available to them for various different reasons, and that the court ought to hold.
Attorney Minor, a professor at Howard University, believes that affirmative action is not only important in admissions, but also in the field of law.
Being that I'm a practicing attorney, I definitely see that there are lawyers that are of color, but I also know pretty much in this area, having practiced for 10 years, what schools these lawyers attended. And when you're in a situation where most HBCUs are still producing over 70% of PhDs for African Americans, JDs, dentist degrees, there is a need to have the diversity also at PWIs, and there's still that problem.
Reporting for News Vision, I'm Elise Ferguson. Getting that internship or snagging that job at a career fair seems like a simple enough task, but not if you're an international student going to school in the United States. Desmond Patakiji, an engineering student from Nigeria, says that's just one of the many obstacles faced as an international student.
I have to say the primary struggle is limitations. For one, a lot of programs that, my interest, international students, are open to just citizens and permanent residents, understand? So we can't apply for them, we're not eligible for them. So we have to pass those up.
He advises other international students to do their research before attending a career fair.
You want to make sure that these companies can actually hire you. Even if you go online and see the eligibility requirements, it's good to note all of that, but it's also good to actually ask them at the career fair, because sometimes information might be misleading. I've actually had that experience before, So I've always told them, listen, before you get your resume out, shake their hand, say good morning, tell them you know about a company, but you have a question if they hire international students. Because if they don't, then nothing there for you, just go to somebody else.
He also feels that campus organizations and places on campus for international students to meet helps make the adjustment a little bit easier. In 2013, this tree that I'm standing under was dedicated to the Howard University Caribbean Students Association to represent the Caribbean students that have attended the university. International students feel comfortable gathering here, but all students are welcome. Roma Al-Harbi works as a clinician at Howard University's Speech and Hearing Clinic and helps out international students who had the same struggles that she did.
It's a huge transition coming from a really different culture in terms of the understanding and being able to keep up with the conversation. It's a matter of different dialects and slangs.
Reporting for News Vision, I'm Elise Ferguson. Hundreds of hungry customers camped outside of Chick-fil-A Tuesday night, awaiting the grand opening of the franchise's first standalone location in Washington, D.C. The new opening marks the restaurant's first entry into the D.C. market. Why start in Columbia Heights? The senior manager believed that this urban location had all the right components.
From a business standpoint, it's right between urban and suburban. You know what I mean? It's right in between on the borderline, so you get both types of people coming in. As you can see, we're always busy all the time. Of course, you got Chipotle and Z-Burger and all of those other nice restaurants, but in my opinion, I think we're the best. Why? Because all our ingredients are the freshest. They come in daily. I order them daily. I make sure I order nothing but the best, because we are the best. That's what I'm doing right now, ordering for our store.
The first 100 customers in line were awarded a card giving them 52 free meals, which is the equivalent to 1 meal a week for 1 year. Rome Miller, a senior at Howard University, was one of the people who camped outside and received his certificate.
Yeah, so I was camped out for about 8 hours that night before it opened. So the most rewarding part was definitely getting the Chick-fil-A card to get the free meals, because the staff here is always so nice anyway. So then when we came in, they were very welcoming. We got to have samples of all the food that was going to be on the menu. It was small portions, but then we still got that big reward, like I said, and getting that Chick-fil-A card to get those meals.
Reporting for HU News Service, I'm Elise Ferguson.